to service.
And that's when you learned you were Ernest.
Yeah,
Clay.
that's all they wanted. When I signed in, the guy started all the paperwork. I told him, he asked his first name, all that. I give him a name. I said, I go by Clay. He says, son, says, I don't care what you go by, but in here it's first name, middle initial.
Yes.
And that's all it is to it. Government stuff.
Right.
So I went with first name till I got out of service. I didn't know whether to go with first name or middle name, but I ended up going with E. Clay.
E. Clay.
E.
Okay.
Clay. Now, mother died in 1984, and we was going through the stuff over there and found these quilt tops up in the attic, and I got this one. And I was telling Betty, Mary found somebody that knew how to do the quilt, so she finished it up for us. And now here's my point. This was, E. Clay came in 1950, and she had long given up quilting.
Who had long given up quilting? Grandma. E.
Mother.
Clay.
Now, that had to be done years before that I ever adopted that name.
Well, let me see that. Turn that
What is
around.
E. Clay?
Yeah.
I'm recording that.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what Mama did?
Yeah.
Well,
And how did you come up with that years before I ended up out like this?
Do you know where all these little scraps came from? Do you know what they were?
No, I think that.
what, Grandma Harris did this, or
No,
your
no.
mama did it?
No, my mother.
Your mother did that
Yeah.
quilt.
Yeah.
I can remember when Daddy set up a quilting frame in the
Yeah,
living
yeah,
room.
okay, yeah.
And they'd sit there and stitch all the
Okay.
stuff together.
What year do you think
They
that
used
was
to have
that
like
she
women
made
coming
that?
over and they would all sit
Oh yeah,
around.
they'd get different places.
Yeah.
So what year do you think it was she made this?
Well, that's the mystery.
Yeah, I'd say it was probably back in the 30s.
I'm
Would
just
be my
wondering
guess.
where my mom was in age at this point.
She might not even been around.
She was born
She was the last one.
36.
Yeah. Queenie.
So I'd love to know where all these fabrics came from.
Deborah, you could have taken that
E.
to
Clay
the
Cox.
market last week. So
Yeah,
that
she
was
ran
good.
out of space.
Yeah.
She lost her.
Oh yeah, it got smaller and
Uh-huh.
smaller.
That wasn't the kind of thing that she did anyway.
No?
Like you say, she didn't do a lot of this fancy stuff, but
Right.
she did do the quilts. Very well remember that. Used to get fabric in, what was it, flour sacks?
Yeah.
Flour bags.
My
Yeah.
mom has a couple of those old
Yeah.
flour sacks that
They used to make clothes out of them.
I should say I wore a couple of them. Grandpa.
Did you not save any of them?
No, my mama's dad would bring them in and give them to her. Mama would make little dresses for me.
But you know, Betty,
Uh-huh.
just about everywhere you go today, it's a medical facility or something like that, all they want anymore is first name. And they don't even want your middle name.
Well, they were
And
the,
that's the reason.
yeah.
And Mary and I had 4 children, and every one of them was named to be sure that the first name is the name they're gonna be
Yeah.
called by.
Well, I was called Gail until we moved to High Point.
Didn't you?
Yeah, and they would not, so I said, well, it's Betty Gale, and they said, pick one.
Exactly. I don't know.